Hello students, welcome to the next class in sets. So in this video lecture, we will be discussing various proofs which are based on sets, right? And before discussing the proofs on set theory, let me to tell you few properties which are important, which are required throughout, right? So let me consider let A be any set, right? Let A be any set. So if I say A union with empty, so this phi is a empty set, right? We know this thing. This is an empty set. So if we take the union of A with empty set, it will definitely give me A only, right? Similarly, if you take the A and intersection with universal set, right? That is A intersection with universal set. So that what it will be? So see, if this is my universal set U and this is my A. So what will be the intersection? The intersection will only be A. We can see this from Venn diagram. And this is also known as the identity law. Similarly, if you take A union with A, this is equal to A only, right? Similarly, A intersection with A, this also is A only. So this can be stated as the idempotent law. Moreover, A union B is always equal to B union A, right? And similarly, the A intersection with B is always equal to B intersection A. And this is called as a commutative law. Further, few properties which are required are A union with B union C. So these are the associative properties. So what can we say? If you take the B union C first and then you take the union with A, that is your left hand side. Or if you take the A union B first and then you take the union with C. So in both the cases, the output will be the same. So that is my first property. The second one, that is the in case of intersection, if you take the intersection of B and C first and then you take the intersection with A, or if you take the intersection of A and B first and then you take the intersection with C, the output in both the cases will come out to be the same. The third and the fourth, they are very important. So they are the distributive properties, right, over the union and intersection. So if you take the A union, B intersection C. So what is this equal to? This is equal to A union with B. So just see this. So this is like A union with B, right? So that is the first part, and then this symbol in the middle, that is an intersection, and the last one, that is a union with C. Similarly, if you have A intersection with B union C, this will be equal to A intersection B union with A intersection C. So these are some of the important properties that are required. Let me to consider what is the involution law. Involution law states that if you take A complement and then again if you take the complement of A complement, so that will always be equal to A. Very important mathematical way how to prove equality in mathematics. So if anyone asks me to prove the equality in mathematics, the only way is you should show that A is contained in B and B is contained in A. If A is contained in B and B is contained in A, then from 1 and 2 I will say A is equal to B, right? So that is how equality is shown in mathematics. And in my previous video also I have described how to show the containment. So whenever we wish to prove the containment, that is A contained in B, so what is the first step? We will choose any arbitrary element from A, right? So we will choose arbitrary element from A, right? That is, if we choose any x belonging to A, and after few steps I will say that x is also belonging to B. If I am capable enough to show this thing, then I will say that A is contained in B. If you take the complement of A complement, it will be equal to A. So I have to prove the equality. So I will be firstly choosing any arbitrary element from the left hand side. So let x be any arbitrary element from A complement, right? So if x is any arbitrary element, so that is x will belong to A complement, right? So just try to imagine this thing now. If I say x belongs to A complement, right? Now just replace this A complement with B. So if I say x belongs to B complement, it means x does not belongs to B, right? So just assume this is my B, right? And I'm saying that x is somewhere here in the B complement. So it means x is not here, right? So that is just the meaning. So if x belongs to A complement, it implies that is if and only if x does not belongs to A complement. Now again apply the same definition. So if x does not belongs to A complement, so now just see, this is my A, right? And the outside one is A complement. So if I say x is not in A complement, so where will be x be? It will be in A only. So if x does not belong in A complement, this is if and only if x is in A. So where do we started? We started from x is any arbitrary element from A complement, right? and finally we reached at the point that x belongs to A, right? So it means A complement is contained in A. But now, since this result is proved in if and only if, so this double arrow is if and only if, that is conversely also the result is true. In both the ways the result is true, right? So it means the other way, that is A contained in A complement is true. Now from the inequality 1 and true, I will say that A complement is equal to A. So students, that is the standard approach which I will be using throughout this lecture to prove the equality. So whenever I am asked to prove the equality, that is A is equal to B, so the simple strategy is you will always use the fact that A is contained in B and B is contained in A, and from these two equations you can say that A is equal to B. And in order to show that A is contained in B, the simple strategy is choose any arbitrary element from A, and finally after applying few steps show that that arbitrary element also belongs to B. If you are capable enough to show this thing, then finally you can say that A is contained in B. And the same approach you can use to show that B is contained in A. So that is the simple strategy which I will be using throughout this video lecture. So that is all about the involution law. Now we talk about the complement law. What does complement law states? That if you take A is any set, and if you take the union of A with A complement, what do you get? You get the universal set. Again, you have to prove the equality. So the steps will be same. That is, if you have to prove equality in mathematics, so just you have to prove that A is contained in B and B is contained in A. And if you start from this side, that is A contained in B, right? And if you use if and only if, so the other side is proved itself. So let me see this. So I have taken X be any arbitrary element from the A union A complement, right? So X is any arbitrary element from A union A complement. So it means if and only if X belongs to A union A complement. So if X belongs to A union A complement, what does this mean? This means X belongs to A, right? And union means or. X belongs to A complement. Fine. So X belongs to A or X belongs to A complement. What is the definition of A complement? That is universal set minus A. Fine with this? So that is a X belongs to U minus A. And finally, when I say X belongs to U minus A, what is the definition? The definition says that X must belong to U, but it should not be in A. So X belongs to U and X does not belongs to A. This equation is true if and only if X belongs to the universal set. So where do we started from? We started from X belongs to A union A complement. And finally we reached at X is belonging to universal set, and this was one side. And since I have used if and only if, so the other sides, that is U contained in A union A complement, stands trivial, right? And from 1 and 2 I can say that A union A complement is equal to universal set. Now moving on to the third one, that is a intersection with A complement, that is empty set, right? You can easily see this is my A, this is my A complement, so they have nothing in common, so that is a equal to 5. Again you will choose X by any arbitrary element from A intersection A complement. So if X belongs to A intersection A complement, it means X belongs to A intersection in and X belongs to A complement. So X belongs to A, and if X is belonging to A complement, so X should be somewhere here, right? It means X does not belongs to A. So that is the definition. So X belongs to A and X does not belong to A, right? So I am saying X is also belonging to A. At the same time I am saying X is not belonging to A. So it means X is nothing but the empty set, right? And so we started from A intersection A complement. So I have chosen X be any arbitrary element from here, and finally I showed that X was belonging to empty set, right? So one side containment is shown. What about the other side? The other side, that is phi contained in A intersection A complement, can be shown by using just this symbol, that is if and only if, because the result is true both ways. So using 1 and 2, right? This is 1, this is 2. I can say that A intersection A complement is empty set. Finally, moving to one of the important law, that is a De Morgan's law, which states that A union B whole complement is equals to A complement intersection B complement, and the similar one holds for intersection also, that is A intersection B whole complement is equal to A complement union B complement. So let us prove the first part, that is A union B complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement, right? Again on the same line. So how do we prove the equality in mathematics? That is A contained in B, B contained in A, and then from 1 and 2 I will say that A and B are equal. So let X be any arbitrary element from A union B complement. So that is the left hand side, right? Now if X is any arbitrary element from A union B complement, it means X belongs to A union B complement. So if X is belonging to any set's complement, it means X does not belong to that set, right? If I say this is my A and X is belonging to A complement, so it means X does not belong to A. So the same definition I have used here, that X does not belong to A union B. And if I say X does not belong to A union B, what does it mean? It means X does not belong to A and X does not belong to B. If X does not belong to A, then X belongs to its complement. Very nice. Similarly, if X does not belong to B, it means X belongs to B complement. Now just combine this, X belongs to A complement also and X belongs to B complement also. It means it must belong to their intersection, that is X must belongs to A complement and means intersection and B complement. Fine with this. Where do we started? We started from X was any arbitrary element from A union B whole complement, and we showed that this arbitrary element X that was belonging to A complement intersection B complement, right? So that is a one side containment. And now we wish to prove the other side containment also, that is the converse part, right? That is this part. Because if we are capable to show this part, then only using 1 and 2 we will say that A union B complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement. And the second part, that can be proved in a very similar lines, because you can use this if and only if. You can use this if and only if, so the converse is automatically true. Now let me to prove A intersection B complement is equal to A complement union B complement. So the same strategy will be followed in order to prove this law also. I will consider X, which is any arbitrary element from A intersection B complement, right? So that is X must belongs to A intersection B whole complement. So if X is belonging to this A intersection B complement, it means X does not belongs to A intersection B. If X does not belongs to A intersection B, it means X does not belongs to A or X does not belongs to B. Mind it, this thing is very important. So if this is my set A, this is my set B, and I'm saying X does not belongs to A intersection B, that is X is not here. So what does it mean? It means either X is not in this side or it is not in this side. So here it is or, mind it. So X does not belongs to A or X does not belongs to B. Then if X is not in A, it means X is in its complement or X is in B's complement. So X belongs to A complement or X belongs to B complement, that is X belongs to A complement or means union B complement. So earlier X was belonging to A intersection B whole complement, and finally I showed that it is belonging to A complement union B complement. So one side containment is shown, and using the if and only if symbol, the other side containment, that is the converse statement, is also true. And similarly using 1 and 2, I will say that A intersection B whole complement is equals to A complement union with B complement. So that is all about the De Morgan's law. Let me to take few more theorems. So if A union B is equal to A intersection B, then I have to show that A is exactly equal to B. So if I have to prove that A is exactly equal to B, I will consider X, which is any arbitrary element from A. So that means X belongs to A. If X is belonging to A, it means X will definitely belong to A union B, right? Now, but we are given that A union B is equal to A intersection B. So it means X must belong to A intersection B. Now, if X is belonging to A intersection B, I will say X belongs to A and X belongs to B. Fine. Where do we started? We started from X is belonging to A, and finally we reached that X belongs to B also, right? Because I said X belongs to A and X belongs to B. So it means X is also belonging to B. Firstly, X was belonging to A. Finally, X is belonging to B. So can I say A is contained in B? Yes, that is the way how do we prove the containment. Now I have to prove the converse also, that is B must be contained in A. So I will choose Y, which is any arbitrary element from B. So on the same lines, that is Y belongs to B. So Y will also belongs to A union B. But A union B is equal to A intersection B. So just substitute the value here. It means Y belongs to A also. Earlier Y was belonging to B. Finally, you showed that Y is belonging to A. So can I say B is contained in A? And from 1 and 2, I'll say A and B are exactly equal. And the last theorem in this video lecture, that is if A and B are any two sets, then prove that A minus B equals to A intersection B complement. So step 1, let X be any arbitrary element from the left hand side, that is A minus B. So that is X belongs to A minus B. Just apply the definition of A minus B. What does it mean? It means X belongs to A and X does not belongs to B. that is x belongs to A, and if x does not belongs to B, it means x belongs to B complement. So x belongs to A and x belongs to B complement, it means it must belong to their intersection also. So it means that is x belongs to A intersection B complement. You choose x to be from A minus B. Finally, you showed that x is in A intersection B complement. Therefore, A minus B is contained in A intersection B complement. Now you need to prove the converse part also, that is if you choose y which is any arbitrary element from A intersection B complement, right, it means y belongs to A intersection B complement. So just apply the definition. It means y belongs to A and means intersection means and y belongs to B complement. Now just apply the definition of complement. If y is coming from B complement, it means y does not belongs to B. So y is in A and y is not in B. So it means y is in A minus B. Earlier y was from A intersection B complement. Finally y was in A minus B. So can I say A intersection B complement is contained in A minus B? Right? And using 1 and 2, both of these things are equal. So these are some important theorems which are required in the set theory. I hope you have enjoyed this video session. For more such videos, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and do not forget to press the bell icon. Thank you so much, students.